Have you ever felt like you don't quite belong in this world? Like there's something deeper calling to you, something that sets you apart from everyone around you? What if that feeling isn't just imagination, but actually a sign that your soul carries ancient wisdom and extraordinary purpose? According to renowned psychiatrist and spiritual teacher Dr. Brian Weiss, there are unmistakable signs that indicate when someone possesses what he calls a rare soul, a consciousness that has traveled through multiple lifetimes, gathering profound experiences and spiritual insights that most people haven't yet accessed. Today, we're going to explore 5 powerful signs that reveal whether you possess this rare type of soul. These aren't just personality traits or quirks, they're deep spiritual markers that Dr. Weiss has identified through decades of past life regression therapy and working with thousands of souls on their spiritual journeys. By the end of this exploration, you'll understand not only whether you carry these rare soul characteristics, but also what this means for your life's purpose and spiritual evolution. If you feel drawn to this topic, it's already a sign that your consciousness is awakening to deeper truths. Subscribe and activate notifications to continue receiving guidance that resonates with your spiritual journey. Leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to evolve spiritually," and let's create a community of awakened souls supporting each other's growth. Dr. Brian Weiss revolutionized our understanding of consciousness and soul evolution when he began documenting evidence of past lives through his psychiatric practice. Initially skeptical, Weiss discovered that many of his patients carried memories, traumas, and wisdom from previous incarnations that were directly affecting their current lives. Through his work with thousands of individuals, he began to notice patterns. Certain souls seemed to carry a depth of experience and spiritual awareness that was remarkably different from others. These rare souls, according to Weiss, have typically lived many lifetimes across different time periods, cultures, and circumstances. They've been healers, teachers, warriors, and wisdom keepers throughout history. Each lifetime added layers to their consciousness, creating souls with extraordinary empathy, intuitive abilities, and an almost magnetic pull towards spiritual growth and service to others. Weiss describes these individuals as having souls that shine with a different light. They're the ones who often feel like strangers in their own world because they're carrying wisdom from many worlds. What makes a soul rare isn't just the number of lifetimes lived, but the quality of experiences and the level of consciousness achieved across those incarnations. These souls have chosen challenging paths, often sacrificing personal comfort to serve others or to learn profound lessons about love, forgiveness, and spiritual truth. They've been mystics in monasteries, healers in ancient civilizations, and teachers in times when wisdom was dangerous to possess. The first sign that reveals a rare soul is an overwhelming sense of not belonging in this current time and place. If you've always felt like you were born in the wrong era, constantly drawn to different historical periods, or feeling like modern society doesn't make sense to your inner knowing, this could be your soul remembering other lifetimes where you felt more at home. Dr. Weiss explains that rare souls often experience what he calls temporal displacement, a feeling of being out of sync with current times because their consciousness holds memories of living in different eras. You might find yourself naturally drawn to ancient cultures, medieval times, or specific historical periods that feel inexplicably familiar. You might prefer handwritten letters over text messages, feel more comfortable in natural settings than urban environments, or find that old music, architecture, or art moves you in ways you can't explain. This isn't just nostalgia or romantic idealization of the past. Rare souls experience these attractions as deep cellular recognition. When they encounter certain time periods through books, movies, or historical sites, they feel a profound sense of homecoming. They might dream about specific historical events as if they lived through them, or feel unexplained emotions when learning about particular cultures or civilizations. Share in the comments an experience where you felt the presence of spiritual mentors or a profound inner transformation that connected you to something greater than this lifetime. Many rare souls also report feeling like they're waiting for something or someone without knowing what. This is often their soul remembering connections and purposes from other lifetimes that haven't yet manifested in this current incarnation. They might feel restless in perfectly good circumstances because their soul knows there's important work to be done, even if their conscious mind hasn't figured out what that work is yet. The second sign of a rare soul is possessing unusual wisdom and insight that seems to come from nowhere. If people frequently tell you that you're wise beyond your years, if you find yourself giving advice that surprises even you with its depth, or if you somehow know things without having learned them in conventional ways, your soul might be accessing wisdom accumulated over many lifetimes. Dr. Weiss has observed that rare souls often demonstrate what he calls spontaneous knowing. They understand complex spiritual, emotional, or life concepts without formal education or extensive experience in those areas. A young person might speak with the wisdom of an elder, offering insights about relationships, loss, forgiveness, or life purpose that seems to come from a much deeper source than their current life experience. This wisdom often manifests in several ways. Rare souls frequently serve as natural counselors and advisors to others, even from an early age. People are drawn to them for guidance and feel inexplicably comforted by their presence. They have an intuitive understanding of human nature and can often see through surface behaviors to understand what's really motivating people. They might predict outcomes in situations based not on logical analysis, but on a deeper knowing about how human dynamics typically unfold. These souls also tend to have profound insights about spiritual and metaphysical concepts, even if they haven't studied them formally. They understand concepts like karma, soul contracts, and spiritual growth as natural truths rather than abstract theories. They might find themselves explaining complex spiritual principles to others in simple, accessible ways because these concepts feel as natural to them as breathing. If this message has touched your soul, leave a like so more conscious minds can awaken to this light and wisdom that's meant to be shared. What's particularly interesting is that rare souls often struggle with this wisdom because it can feel isolating. They might hesitate to share their insights because they're aware that their understanding goes beyond what most people are ready to hear. This can create a sense of loneliness or feeling misunderstood, even when they're surrounded by people who care about them. The third sign involves experiencing profound connections with certain people that feel inexplicable and immediate. Rare souls often encounter what Dr. Weiss calls soul recognition, meeting people and instantly feeling like they've known them forever, experiencing immediate trust, understanding, or even conflict that seems disproportionate to the actual relationship. These soul connections can manifest in various ways. Sometimes it's meeting someone and feeling an immediate, deep friendship or romantic attraction that goes far beyond physical or personality compatibility. The connection feels ancient, like coming home to someone you've been searching for without knowing it. Conversations flow effortlessly, and there's often a sense of picking up where you left off, even though you've just met. Other times, rare souls experience instant, inexplicable conflict or discomfort with certain people. This isn't about personality clashes or obvious incompatibilities. It's a deeper cellular reaction that suggests unresolved issues from previous lifetimes. Dr. Weiss explains that these challenging connections are often the most important ones because they represent opportunities to heal old wounds and complete unfinished soul business. Family relationships for rare souls are particularly complex because they often feel like they don't quite fit with their biological families. They might love their family members but feel like they're from different worlds in terms of values, interests, or spiritual understanding. This is because rare souls often incarnate into families that will provide specific lessons or opportunities for growth, rather than families where they naturally belong. The intensity of these soul connections can be overwhelming for rare souls. They might form bonds that feel too deep too quickly, or struggle with the pain of losing connection with people who feel essential to their being. Learning to navigate these relationships with wisdom and healthy boundaries becomes a crucial part of their spiritual development in this lifetime. Many rare souls also report dreaming about people before they meet them, or having strong intuitive feelings about where to go or what to do that leads them to significant encounters. They might feel guided to attend certain events, visit specific places, or take particular jobs that seem unimportant but lead to meeting people who become crucial in their spiritual journey. Send this video to someone who is seeking spiritual clarity or comfort, someone whose soul might be awakening to these same recognitions. The fourth sign of a rare soul is experiencing what Dr. Weiss describes as active spiritual gifts, intuitive abilities that seem natural rather than learned, including strong empathic capabilities, prophetic dreams, healing presence, or the ability to sense things beyond normal perception. Rare souls often demonstrate natural psychic or intuitive abilities from an early age. They might have imaginary friends who feel completely real, predict events before they happen, or know things about people without being told. As children, they often accept these abilities as normal until society teaches them to suppress or doubt their natural gifts. Empathic abilities are particularly common among rare souls. They don't just sympathize with others' emotions, they actually feel them in their own bodies. Walking into a room, they can immediately sense the emotional atmosphere and often absorb others' feelings without realizing it. This can be both a gift and a burden, as they might struggle with emotions that aren't actually theirs or feel overwhelmed in crowds or emotionally charged environments. Many rare souls also experience prophetic or symbolic dreams that provide guidance or warnings about future events. These aren't random dreams, but clear, memorable visions that often come true in some form. They might dream about people they haven't met yet, receive messages from deceased loved ones, or get insights about important life decisions through their dream state. Healing presence is another common gift. Rare souls often find that people feel better after spending time with them, even without any conscious effort to help or heal. Their energy naturally soothes and uplifts others. They might be drawn to healing professions or find that they have natural abilities with plants, animals, or human ailments that can't be explained by training alone. Dr. Weiss emphasizes that these gifts come with responsibility. Rare souls need to learn how to use their abilities wisely and protect their own energy while serving others. They often struggle with boundaries because their natural inclination is to help everyone, which can lead to energetic depletion and spiritual burnout if not managed properly. Write in the comments, "Today I free myself from old patterns and embrace the light of spiritual renewal." Let this affirmation mark your commitment to honoring your soul's gifts. Some rare souls also demonstrate abilities to communicate with non-physical beings, whether spirit guides, deceased loved ones, or higher dimensional entities. This might manifest as hearing guidance in meditation, receiving messages during quiet moments, or simply having a strong sense of being watched over and guided by benevolent forces. The fifth and perhaps most significant sign of a rare soul is an intense drive towards service and making a positive difference in the world, combined with a deep knowing that they're here for a specific purpose, even if they haven't fully identified what that purpose is yet. Dr. Weiss observes that rare souls incarnate with what he calls mission consciousness, a built-in awareness that they're here to contribute something meaningful to humanity's evolution. This isn't ego or grandiosity. It's a humble but persistent sense that their life needs to matter in a way that helps others or advances spiritual understanding on Earth. This sense of mission often creates both motivation and frustration. Rare souls feel driven to find their purpose and might experience deep dissatisfaction when they're not aligned with work or activities that feel meaningful. They can't simply pursue careers for money or status. Their souls demand that their life's energy goes towards something that serves the greater good. Many rare souls struggle with what Dr. Weiss calls purpose anxiety, a constant feeling that time is running out to fulfill their mission, or worry that they're not doing enough to make the difference they came here to make. This can lead to feelings of restlessness or depression when they're in life circumstances that don't allow them to express their full spiritual potential. The service orientation of rare souls is distinctive because it comes from genuine love rather than obligation or need for recognition. They're drawn to help others not because they should, but because they feel others' pain as their own and naturally want to alleviate suffering wherever they encounter it. This might manifest as careers in healing, teaching, counseling, or activism, but it can also show up as being the person everyone comes to for support, regardless of their official profession. Dr. Weiss notes that rare souls often have to learn to balance their service orientation with self-care. Their natural inclination to put others first can lead to neglecting their own needs, which ultimately diminishes their ability to serve effectively. Learning to honor their own spiritual and physical needs becomes essential for sustaining their mission over a lifetime. Show gratitude to the higher plan by leaving your like, as a sign of connection and appreciation for this message received from the spiritual realm. Many rare souls also feel connected to global healing and planetary evolution. They might be deeply affected by environmental issues, social injustices, or collective human suffering in ways that feel personal rather than just compassionate. They understand intuitively that individual healing and collective healing are interconnected, and their personal spiritual growth is actually service to the entire human family. Understanding these signs is transformative, but the real question is, what do you do with this knowledge? Dr. Weiss emphasizes that recognizing yourself as a rare soul isn't about feeling special or superior. It's about accepting responsibility for the gifts and awareness you've been given. First, honor your sensitivity and intuitive abilities rather than trying to fit into conventional expectations. The world needs people who can access deeper wisdom and spiritual insight. Your different way of seeing and being isn't a flaw to be corrected. It's a feature of your soul's design that serves an important function. Second, seek out others who share your spiritual understanding and values. Rare souls often feel lonely because they try to find acceptance in environments that aren't aligned with their consciousness. Finding your spiritual community, whether online, in metaphysical groups, or through service-oriented activities, provides the support and understanding you need to thrive. Third, develop practices that support your spiritual gifts while protecting your energy. This might include meditation, energy healing techniques, spending time in nature, or whatever helps you stay centered and connected to your higher guidance. Regular spiritual practice isn't luxury for rare souls. It's essential maintenance that allows them to function effectively in the physical world. Fourth, trust your inner guidance about your life path and purpose, even when it doesn't make logical sense to others. Your soul's compass is more reliable than external advice when it comes to making decisions about your spiritual mission. This requires courage because rare souls often have to choose paths that others don't understand or support. Finally, remember that your very presence is service. You don't have to achieve something extraordinary or famous to fulfill your purpose. Sometimes the most important work rare souls do is simply modeling a different way of being, showing others that it's possible to live from love instead of fear, to prioritize spiritual growth over material success, and to treat all beings with compassion and respect. Comment, I align myself with the purposes of good and continue firm on my journey of elevation. Let this declaration guide your next steps on this spiritual path. Dr. Weiss reminds us that rare souls chose to incarnate during this particular time in human history for specific reasons. This is a time of great transformation and spiritual awakening on Earth, and conscious souls are needed to help facilitate this transition. If you recognize these signs in yourself, you're part of a larger spiritual mission that extends far beyond your individual life. The journey of a rare soul isn't always easy, but it's deeply meaningful. You came here equipped with everything you need to fulfill your purpose, even if you're still discovering what that purpose is. Trust the process, honor your gifts, and remember that your spiritual evolution serves not just yourself, but the entire collective consciousness of humanity. The signs we've explored today: feeling displaced in time, possessing unusual wisdom, experiencing soul connections, demonstrating spiritual gifts, and feeling driven to serve, are invitations to step more fully into your authentic spiritual identity. They're reminders that you're not just a human having a random experience, but a soul on a deliberate journey of growth and service. As we conclude this exploration, take a moment to reflect on which of these signs resonated most strongly with you. Which aspects of rare soul characteristics do you recognize in your own experience? Remember, recognizing these traits isn't about labeling yourself or creating separation from others. It's about understanding your unique spiritual gifts so you can use them more consciously and effectively. Dr. Weiss's work shows us that every soul is precious and has something valuable to contribute, but rare souls carry additional responsibilities.